Oh my God.
He was fine 2 seconds later. He was like this, just talking, flapping away, everything was wonderful. I'm like, they should have put that in the drip from the beginning, and it might have been, you know, a lot easier. But I want to thank you guys all for coming. I mean, if anybody wants to come up and say something, I mean, please do. I mean, I'm not good at speaking, but I just heard that story out there. I was like, that is like the best. Yeah, like you've never seen someone shoot up so fast. I was like,
His eyes closed.
yeah, like, give me that.
Like candy or something.
Well, that was like the day, there was a day, he was having a bad day in his house.
It was that Wednesday, in the house, the Roman Coke.
And the nurse called me like, you know, can you come over? And I'm like, yeah, sure. She said, maybe get him a coffee or something. I was just really upset. So I went to the Dunkin' Donuts to get a coffee. I'm like, forget Starbucks. I'm like, forget this. It's like 11 in the morning. I'm like, let me go to the liquor store instead. So I go, I got him some shots, and we went over there. I went over there with the popcorn and the shots and whatever. The nurse was just like looking, he was like, I'm not taking it. She was like, drink it! And we sat there, and we took some shots and ate some popcorn, and again, everything was just fine. After that, everyone calmed down, and then we pulled out a blender, and he had a pineapple there, and made pina coladas. It was, yeah, it was great. So, you know, next time if anyone has a Grand Marnier or pina colada,
Yes.
you know, just think about
Or
that.
rum and coke
Or rum and-
also.
yeah. So, thanks, guys. And I love you all.
Love you too.
Love you too.
Roxanne. Come on, Roxanne.
Alright, I got a story.
All right.
But you know what's so funny? It had nothing to do with Grandma area. It really did. I mean, it could have been. It was white wine, actually. I was in Pier 60, and I think I was busing or something like that, and I go up to a bar, and I see Ron there. He's just pissed off, like always. Like, he's standing near the bar, and then I just see this big glass of wine. It wasn't even a small shot. It was a big glass of white wine. He was like, he just looks at me, he's like, Gabrielle, can you be here at 6 in the morning? Yeah. I can be here at 6 in the morning. He's like, all right, cool. And then he takes out a big paper.
Yes.
He's like, so the pen, the sexy pen, and he's just writing names. He's like, all right, I want you to bring Brian, Chris, and Jenny. Tell them to come here. I'm at this bar. I'm like, oh man. So that made me think of that story when you mentioned like Grandma Air and all that, because I'm like, man, I saw him drink white wine. He drank the whole glass in front of my face with no remorse. I was like, wow. So that's one thing about Ron. Like, what made everybody laugh about Ron, for Ron, is because he was really honest with his personality. He was really serious with what he was. Sure, I mean, he doesn't drink all the time in job, no. He just does that just to get by. But everybody does. That's catering, you know? So, but he was really honest and noble. Like, there was one time where we went up to Connecticut. We busted a 17-hour shift. And he was so pissed at me because it wasn't even about my service or anything that went down the floor. No, he was mad that I was drinking a beer before my shift. That was my goal. So me and him are arguing outside the van, and the client's just staring at us like, are you guys done yet? Like, she did not really care. She wanted us inside. She's like, I need both of you. And we're like, yo, we be right there, we be right there. Why are you drinking beer before I was like, Ron, I am drunk. This is the only way I can heal myself. You want me to go 100%? I need coffee and beer. Wait, you want me to roll these tables on 4'11"? Like, they're so big. Oh my God. And then he would sit there and be like, Gabrielle, I understand. I understand. You just can't do it in front of my face. And he really told like it's crazy because everybody's laughing because they know it is so true. Everybody had, not an altercation, but like an instance went wrong where like, you know, somebody out. And, you know, he never really apologized.
No, he would call back sometimes like, I'm he sorry. apologized. Sometimes at 2, 3 in the morning, listen, I just want to say I'm sorry. Yeah. I was wrong, you was right. I'm sorry.
Yeah. See, Ron never apologized to me, maybe because, I'm not gonna lie, I'm an asshole in a sense. I am. Everybody knows it too. And I don't mean to be. I just am. And, you know, I never apologized to him, and his way of apologizing to me is like, you know, hey, you want to get a drink after work? Or like, hey, you want to work tomorrow or something like that. He just throw me a shit out of nowhere. Like where it came from, this guy, like wow, it just came out of nowhere. Like I did not know there was like a Japanese wedding on a Thursday night or something like that. Like, you know, it would just come out of nowhere. So I was really grateful for Ron because that was at my highs, and when I was at my lows, and everybody could say it too, I was collecting unemployment and stuff like that. So many lawsuits were happening. Everybody went through this. It's catering. And I'll just call him and be like, hey, Ron, you got something? And he's like, you know what? Meet me tomorrow at here and here, so-and-so, X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, wow. Like, he really made it happen. And yeah, so yeah. So what happened with that story, I was actually getting sentimental, but let me get back to funny. Me and Ron get into a lot of arguments. I would admit that. But me and Ron, we had mutual understanding. Like, I love this guy. He's like my dad. Like, I'll argue with him and be like, hey, fuck you. And that was my way of saying I love you, but you pissed me off. You know? So, you know, there was one day, me and him were outside at the Pier 60. This is actually one of my last days there, actually. And yeah, it was really severe because I was on the phone, I was arguing with somebody, then Ron comes, he's screaming in my face. I'm like, Ron, you see me handling business, what the fuck? All right, hold on, yo, Ron, what's happening? Then we're arguing. It was really bad. I think that was the worst argument we ever had. And 3 hours later, we didn't even talk to each other, we didn't even look at each other. I was like, fuck, man, I feel so bad because Ron is my friend, aside from my boss or my booking manager, whatever you want to prefer as. He was my friend. He really was.
He was
so,
a pimp.
Yeah. Yeah. He was. But aside from like Juicy J or the guy that wore all pink, you know what I mean? We actually love this guy. I don't know why I said Juicy. Don't look at me. I don't know why I said Juicy J. But he makes sure to play music though. But anyways, he comes up to me and he was like, you know, he didn't even offer me work this time. He was just, you know, my daughter's gay too. And then he just stares at me, but he gave me a serious stare. He's like, the hump sack? So fast. He's going like 60 miles an hour. I don't understand this shit. He's moving so fast. And it's so funny because when he walks, you guys know that walk where he walks, but then he could turn his head all the way around. This motherfucker. And then he's like a ninja at times because like he's this big, adorable white guy. He's adorable. Big, adorable white guy. And you know, one minute you see him, and then all of a sudden, you know, yo, let me get that dirt. You see Ron, yo, what the fuck you doing? Boom, what you doing? Run! Like, could we talk about this inside the kitchen? No, any fucking dirt's on the floor. Stop! But what's so hilarious about this is that he was really honest. Like he was right. We were eating hors on the floor. Like sometimes we messed up. We're not perfect. Everybody knows that. And it was crazy because he was there for almost most of the times when we weren't perfect. But what made him so great was that not just because he was forgiving and it wasn't like we walked over him. No, it was the fact that he was all about second chances. And just like his daughter was saying outside, how somewhat in a way we gave him a second chance. It's like, wow, that's well deserved. That's all around karma that is well deserved because he deserved that. And if we were a family to him, aside from actually having a family, man, this guy has so much love. So it's like, wow, what a way to live your life, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's well celebrated.
He gave a lot of us opportunities when nobody
exactly.
else would.
And that's why we're all here, because that opportunity turned out to love. And that's what we got from it. It wasn't like, oh, yo, we can always make a buck around Ron. Because I can make a buck with a lot of people. But honestly, that was the one connection with Ron. I felt like it was love. That $100 to him was love for me. And just like I said, we would fight and all that. And him offering me work, that was his way of being like, hey, I'm sorry, yo, yeah, come on, let's just work this out together. It wasn't just like, you know what, here, pay yourself and go. But anyways, that's why all that ran through my head when I got that phone call when he passed away. I mean, sure, we weren't idiots. We all saw this happen. He even saw it happen. He'll come to work and be like, yeah, yo, I'm bleeding in all sorts of fucking places, but yo, I'm still
The first time I met him, he told me the same thing.
She mentioned that. She mentioned that
the
earlier.
same thing the first time I met him. I'm like, yeah, that sounds kind of serious. I'm going to need you to go take it. That's one of these days I almost walked off the piers, but because he gave me an opportunity from being unemployed for 3 years, I only kept him, I hung in there because he looked out for me.
And that's the gift of Ron. That's what's so beautiful about this guy.
He taught us all a lot.
Yeah,
he did.
I'm not gonna lie, I work with Restaurant Associates right now. And I would have never gotten that job because of him. It was because I got kicked out of Pier 6. She was there for it, you were there for that, everybody was there for that. I didn't really get kicked out, but long story short, I'm not with Pier 60 anymore, and it made me hungry to where I had to go search for other venues, other aspects where I can make money. Ron, of course, was one of my sources. When they want to validate it, he will always put 100%. Yo, she's a good worker, time out, she could get this done, don't worry about it. And he did it for all of us. So with that being said, RA didn't call me till a year later. And I'm working tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I've been working every day. Everybody's like, oh my God, I'm home, having vacated, this and that. I have not slept. I mean, it's a good thing. But I'm just saying, I have not slept. That's why I'm able to, like, you know, look fresh. So, you know, but altogether, I do thank Ron for that. And, you know, we all have our ways of thanking Ron as well. And I hope my story related to everybody else's. And it's this. So, you know, that, I had to bring that up right there. And also the fact that, you know, his daughter's gay. I don't know why you told me that. I guess that was his way of saying, like, I understand you. Yeah, because my daughter's the same way. So, yeah, because everybody knows I'm the only gay one at work, so that's why. Gabby! He was like, yeah, Gabby, yeah, the short gay one. Yeah, she's so fucking cool. And she's sorry, because that's true. That's how she refers to me. Like, Lily is cursing me out in Spanish. I'm like, oh my God, I love you too. Oh man. But anyways, I want to end it with laughter and all sorts of like that because that's how Ron was and that's how, you know, look at all these pictures. Everybody's freaking smiling. That's how it was. It wasn't an image. It wasn't a capture for like Photoshop or Facebook or anything like that. These were all real sentimental moments. So with that being said, man, you know, I want to celebrate Ron's life like that. So, and if you all can, we can all get a drink afterwards and celebrate more. It's a celebration. Ron promoted himself. Let's look at it as that. He really did. So, I love you.
I'm going to make mine very quick. I know Ron maybe 6 or 7 years. When we very first met, and went to a building through an agency, and he came to the same building to a different agency. So we were both working for different companies, but we were working together in the same building. So the first time I met Ron, the first time he met me, we did not hit it off. We didn't hit it off. So we're working together for a few weeks, and finally he needed something, a product inside that building. He asked maybe 20 people, I need this. 20 people is like, well, there is no more. They're all being used right now. We don't know where it is. So I said, I see Ron was upset. He's crazy. He needs this item. I say, Ron, you give me 10 minutes. I come back. After asking 20 people for this item, I go away for 10 minutes. I come back. And I bring him 3 or 4 of the items that he's been looking for. And ever since that day, I just want to say that I helped him out that day when he needed me. He seriously needed me, and our relationship changed. That day, after, like I said at the beginning of my story, we weren't hitting it off. He didn't really like me too much, and he was a little rough around the edges himself. Ever since that day, when I brought him those items, that he went crazy, and my looking at him changed, him looking at me changed, a friendship blossomed, you know, and I just wanted to say, you know, I want to thank God for that, you know, that I met him and that serious matter occurred and I was able to help him out, you know what I mean? And I'm glad that problem occurred because I was able to solve his problem and our relationship was able to blossom, okay? And I can't thank God enough for that day, okay? So I just want to, Ron will always, I'll always love Ron. He's given me work and opportunities when no one else was there for me, okay? And he'll forever be in my thoughts and in my heart, and he'll be my friend, and I will always love him. All right, thank you.
The July weekend, so I was telling Roxanne every year on 4th of July we need to all get together and we need to all make some noise.
Now tonight, I have a huge Connect to fireworks. If you want, no, I'm serious. Like I have a huge, I got F80s and all that. Things that go boom, he's gonna love it. So we'll talk. I got you.
All right.
Or some kind of memorial before the summer's over.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, definitely.
really get together and hang out.
Send me that video, brother.
It's gonna be on Facebook
It's gonna be on Facebook.
today.
All right, you can turn it off now. This not happening.
Right?